Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. A 14-year-old boy has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after a teacher was stabbed at a school in Bradford this morning. 50-year-old Vincent Ozomo was attacked in a classroom full of pupils at Dixon's King's Academy just before 9 o'clock this morning. It's understood he was a supply teacher who'd been at the school for just a few weeks. He's in a stable condition in hospital tonight. Judith Moritz reports. A landmark report on the powers of the police and the security services to monitor communications says current laws are undemocratic and must be replaced. David Anderson, who's the independent reviewer of terrorism legislation, says intelligence agencies should retain the power to intercept phone calls and emails, but it should be up to judges rather than ministers to approve each warrant. Our security correspondent Gordon Carrera reports. The British film star Sir Christopher Lee has died at the age of 93. He made his name in the era of the Hammer horror films, most famously playing Dracula. He also starred in The Wicker Man and as the Bond villain Scaramanga. In total, he made more than 250 films. Nick Hyam looks back at his career. They survived the perilous journey across the Mediterranean. Now tens of thousands of migrants from North Africa have been heading through Italy towards northern Europe in search of a better life. Officials in the city of Milan say more than 64,000 migrants have passed through Milan's main train station in just over 18 months. Italy's calling for the rest of Europe to do more to help with the crisis. Well, Clive Murray is in Sicily, where people continue to arrive in large numbers. Clive. Good evening and welcome to the BBC's News at 6. The mother of a British man killed last night in Kenya after going there to fight with Islamic extremists has told the BBC how her world fell apart when she heard the news. In an exclusive interview, Sally Evans says she had not heard from her 25-year-old son Thomas, who converted to Islam, since December. She's spoken of her anger at members of the local community in Buckinghamshire who she blames for radicalising him. Here's our security correspondent Gordon Carrera. Now, it's a controversial process that has divided communities. Now plans to use fracking to extract shale gas have moved a major step closer. Planning officers in Lancashire have recommended that the energy firm Quadrilla should be allowed to begin fracking at one site near Blackpool. But councillors have to give their final approval next week. Our industry correspondent John Moylan is in the village of Little Plumpton for us now. John. Victims of child sex abuse in Rotherham has spoken for the first time about how she was abandoned by the authorities. The girl, who became pregnant at the age of 12, says at one stage a police officer found her locked in a flat. She'd been left there for 2 days, but after freeing her, the police never investigated what had happened. The BBC can also reveal that a report outlining the scale of abuse across the town was distributed to several senior police officers, but nothing was done. Alison Holt has this exclusive report. The Queen and thousands of guests have marked the 800th anniversary of Magna Carta, the document which established that the monarch, like everyone else, was subject to the rule of law. The event took place in the meadow at Runnymede, close to the River Thames, where the Magna Carta was sealed by King John in 1215. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell reports.